Stop complaining.
I wasn't.
You are complaining.
You're complaining. You couch potato? How do I look?
Nominal.
You didn't even look at me.
I don't need to. I know you look beautiful.
I'd like to hear what you think.
But it doesn't matter what I say because you never believe me anyway.
Oop. Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
And
board gamey things.
Exactly. We just got back from PAX
And we're tired.
yesterday and we slept for a good 13 hours.
Wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Jeff is definitely sick.
Yep.
And I think I too am getting sick. However,
We should mention,
it's
not COVID.
No, we've tested 4 times in the past 4 days.
We tested negative before we left.
Yeah.
We tested negative upon
When we
arrival.
arrived.
And we tested negative again today.
And I got a test done at the airport. They gave me a free PCR test. And we have a bunch of at-home tests. So we're testing every day.
Everyone keeps saying to me, con crud. And I'd never heard that before, and it's an actual thing.
Crud, that's not
it's
a
like
nice
a
word.
Cold you get from conventions with a bunch of people around. I had a
also,
mask on the whole time.
Yeah, but we were like,
I was hand sanitizer.
Go.
Yeah.
So sometimes then when you just stop, your body just dies a little bit. I think that's what happened to us. Anyways, this video is our PAX Unplugged haul video. We did some damage.
I don't know how we got all this home.
A little bit of faith, trust, and some pixie dust. We took 2 suitcases with us, like 2 large suitcases, one stuffed inside of the other one, to ensure that we would have space to bring back a bunch of games.
It was almost not enough.
And a bunch of games we did bring back. We bought a lot of games. We're going to show you all of those
Not
games.
all of these came from the convention.
No, we will kind of give you the down low of whatever. I do feel like I don't need to mention this, but I know that I look trashy today. So just
you don't.
Feel like
I'm not wearing a hat because Mick from our family that plays games. Mick, if you're watching.
You do have hair.
I do have hair.
It's there.
And this is to prove it. So.
And Jeff's been stuck in the blue hat for a week.
Yeah.
We are going to do an entire video recapping our PAX experience, but we wanted to do the haul first so that we could put all of these games away. We are going to need to buy a new shelf though.
We already needed to get another shelf.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been as full.
No.
But it certainly will be now.
Let's just jump into it and let's maybe start with a few things that we didn't pick up at PAX.
And we're just going to do quick little hitters here.
Yeah, we know stuff about these games, most of them.
Not going to go in depth. We're just going to say the game, who it's by.
Pow, 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 pow. Yeah, these are blurbs,
Move
okay? On. Blurby blurbs. First up, we have Land vs. Sea from Good Games Publishing. We actually picked this up at Barnes & Noble. We went there because we don't have Barnes & Noble here. We have Chapters, and the board game selection there is kind of...
Not even comparable.
Not even comparable.
Not even close.
And we just wanted to see what the deal was. This was tucked in behind other games, and we were lucky enough to have already played this with our friends Billy and Michelle from Second Star to the Left. Go check them out. Earlier in the week, and we immediately knew it would be a game that we wanted.
We played teams.
We played teams, and apparently it plays best at 2.
And we're suckers for 2-player games.
We're 2 players.
And it's very mean.
Yes, it's a tile placement game.
It's pretty much it. You're just placing tiles.
Trying to block off the other person. And yeah, I'm very excited to have this in the collection. So that is Land vs. Sea. Ooh, here, Jeffrey.
Next up from Barnes & Noble, we got Blitz Bowl Season 2. I believe it's from the Games Workshop. Blitz Bowl is like a skirmish-esque game where you are playing as, I believe, Marauders and Dwarves in a football-esque arena.
The game of gladiatorial sports mayhem.
I mean, come on.
That sounds crazy.
Saw Blitz Bowl. Didn't get it the first time we were at Barnes & Noble.
Yep.
Walked away from it, regretted it, went back, and grabbed it.
That was definitely a Jeff vibe. Oh, my slipper fell off. Next up, we had our friends pick up a few games for us before we arrived in the United States of America. One of those games was Downforce. From Restoration Games. We have been looking for this game and have wanted this game for forever because we love Downforce. It's a racing game. You're racing Formula 1 cars around a track. Super fun. And there's a bit of a betting element in it. There's not much more to say about it other than that you guys already know that we love this game, and now we just want to increase our racing games.
Yeah, so, I still want to get my hands on the expansions, but
too short.
Next up, we have from Ravensburger, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
I loved Gargoyles as a kid.
Me too.
We were trying to decide between this one and Goonies.
Yes.
And this one resonated a bit more with us.
Yeah.
Really excited to paint the minis. It's got a really cool, like, 3D-esque terrain map. I don't know a ton about it, but I know that we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And Jamie's big into the...
The dog's eating the cat food.
Jamie's big into the, dogs eating the cat food.
Little jerk. Look what you did, you little jerk. I'm back.
Jamie is big into the Disney games and trying to get a bunch of them, so...
I'm trying to catch them all.
Haven't seen this one in Canada yet.
Nope. Max picked this up for us, as well as Downforce and this next one, because Target had a buy two, get one free deal. Yep. So the third one that we got from that little haul was Disney Sidekicks, and unfortunately that one took
a brunt of the damage.
It took a lot of the damage. Most of our games did not get any damage.
A few of them got dinged,
but this one got it pretty bad, which is...
It's
really
not
sad.
as bad as it could have been.
It's not as bad as it could have been, but, of course it would happen to a Disney game. Disney Sidekicks is a game where you are playing Disney sidekicks, Timon and Pumbaa and Lumiere and Boo and different characters against some Disney villains. I have not really heard anything about this game. I have no idea how it plays. It's just one that I wanted for my Disney collection, and I'm sure I'm going to love it. Have you looked at the miniatures of this yet?
I'm very excited about the games we've got because a lot of them have amazing miniatures.
Yeah, have you seen these ones?
I haven't.
Like, look at Jafar.
Those are hefty.
Yeah, like, look at Scar.
I don't know if I'll paint these.
Okay, Jeffy. Look at Abu.
I mean, I'll paint them if you want me to.
Not if you're going to mess them up. What's crazy about this game is it was designed by Eric Emlang.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Guy does it all. We got one more from our pre-con haul, and that was...
Night Cage. The Night Cage.
The Night Cage.
And it is from Smirk and Dagger. I don't know a ton about this, but we watched Matthew and Paula play this on Twitch. And it looked like a really cool spooky themed two-player game that we could incorporate into our spooky month.
I think that you're like trapped in a cage at night, and you gotta get out. Could have just made that up.
You're stuck in a maze, and you need to find the key, find the gate, and then get out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because you're in a big cage, and it's nighttime. Now let's get into our PAX haul. So the very first game that we bought at PAX was the Lost Runes of Arnak Expansion Expedition Leaders from CGE. I love Arnak, as you all know. Jeff? How do you feel about Arnak? Let's clear it up. Let's clear
this up. I like Arnak. It's a fine game.
I love it.
I prefer Dune Imperium. I do believe both can exist on your shelf. Primarily when I'm in Discord and I'm picking at people about Arnak, it's just to rile them up, get the conversations flowing.
So this comes with 2 new temples to explore, new items, new leaderboards, which is like a new feature to the game, and then some different assistants. So I'm very, very excited to play with this expansion because it just adds more to the game, which is pretty exciting to me. That was the very first game that we got.
All right, next up, also from CGE, we have Galaxy Trucker. This one is actually gifted to us from CGE to do some content around in the future, so stay tuned for that. And thank you to them for...
Nathan was who we met.
Thank you to Nathan for showing us how this game works. It actually looks really cool.
Yes.
There's an old iteration of Galaxy Trucker that I think is a bit hit or miss with people, but this one looks neat.
This is a condensed version of the original game with way cuter art.
Yeah, the art looks better, and I'm really actually excited to play it. He showed us kind of the chaos that can exist in this game, and I'm pretty pumped to get it to the table.
We've never played the original.
No.
I've always wanted to, but it was very intimidating, so I'm quite happy to have this one. Oh, it did get a little bit of a ding.
Yeah, most of them got a little bit of a ding.
Stupid luggage. Airport people, if you're watching, be gentle. Next up, we got Under Falling Skies, and this is also from CGE and was also gifted to us from CGE to do some content around. This is a solo game that's kind of like an arcade style of Star Shooter? No. What's it called?
I don't remember, but it's not Star Shooter. Oh my goodness.
But it looks like you're shooting robot
Space
ships.
Invaders.
Space Invaders, basically what I said. And I love to play solo games, so I'm very excited.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
If there's going to be a game that gets me into solo gaming,
it's going to be this one.
It might be that one.
I actually had no idea what this game was about, and then Nathan showed it to us, and immediately I was like, this looks so cool. I just want to play this. It looks like fun and stress, and I'm very, very excited to play this.
Next up from Ultra Pro, we have Shards of Infinity deck building game. We played this on our first night with Jazz over at the Lobby of Hobbies. We played it with him and his wife Delilah.
Yes.
And while his beautiful daughter, Lila, carried on.
Our niece, Lila.
Our niece, Lila, carried on in the background.
Yeah.
And we fell in love with it immediately. It's a deck builder, fighting, dueling
very similar
game.
to Star Realms.
Yep, very similar to Star Realms.
Mechanisms.
And I actually prefer this to Star Realms.
Yep.
I like the theme better. I like that there's a little bit more elements to it. And we had a ton of fun with it, and we bought it almost immediately after.
I'm excited to play it at 2 players. Next up, we got a copy of Season 2, one of their dual boxes of Dice Throne Season 2. And this is from Roxley, or Dice Throne. And this was gifted to us from Dice Throne / Roxley to do some content around. Jonathan, who we met, who is amazing.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know Jonathan, you should.
He's the man.
He's awesome. Kind of went through a couple of the different sets. I picked this one because the girl character has a tiger, and as soon as he said tiger,
Huntress and Tactician.
Tactician. So we love Dice Throne. We've only played through Dice Throne Season 1.
The OG.
The OG. Not re-rolled, the OG.
Yeah.
So we are very, very excited to play this because this is like one of the most perfect 2-player games. It's like Battle Yahtzee. It's amazing.
Perhaps a Dice Throne-esque content tournament coming up in the future.
Who's to say?
Maybe.
We're saying it. I love it.
Agreed. From Keymaster Games, we have the PAX Nightfall expansion. You can buy these here, but they're always out of stock, it seems. So they were there. We bought it.
And I've wanted it for
we've wanted it for a while.
Very good, Jeffrey. Okay, this one. Oh. That gives me rage machine.
What?
There's like little denties in it.
Oh, beautiful. You can barely see those.
Okay, next up is one that I'm very excited for because I've wanted
I'm actually... Did you look inside?
Yes.
God, this game's beautiful.
I've wanted this since the Kickstarter came out, and I passed on it, and then there was like a late pledge, and I passed on that too, and it's been regretty spaghetti ever since, and that is Radlands, the Super Deluxe Edition from Roxley. This is a 2-player card dueling game. The Super Deluxe version comes with 2 playmats and some like upgraded components and stuff, but it is just kind of like a card.
I think it has like a magnetic deck box and stuff. Yeah.
And so it's a 2-player card dueling game. It is literally what we live and breathe for.
Yeah.
And I specifically wanted the Super Deluxe because of this box.
That's not true. It wasn't just the box.
That is 90% of why I wanted it.
Jamie came up to me and she's like, no, I'm not gonna get it. I'm like, that's why we're here.
I'm not gonna do it. I was just thinking
that's why we're here.
Yeah. So I got it. I'm very, very happy that
that's a good one to put right there.
Yes. Sorry, Oath. You're getting kicked out. Just look at it. I love it.
Next up from Elf Creek Games.
Another one that I was very much so looking forward to.
Merchants of the Dark Road. I went all in on this.
All in, baby.
You're just seeing the one box, but upgraded metal tokens, provisions. I got, it came with like
cards.
Nice felt baggies.
Card sleeves.
The
whole kit and caboodle.
I didn't know this was going to be there. The Thursday night of the con, before the con started, we played some games with a couple of the Elf Creek guys, and they mentioned that they had copies, and I was like, perfect. And we ran right there as soon as we could to grab a copy.
Yeah. Once again, missed this on Kickstarter because there was miscommunicado.
Yeah.
We thought Zach was going to get it. He thought we were going to get it, and then none of us got it. And this was my most anticipated game of the year, so I am very excited about it. And Elf Creek, just like the production value on their games is just...
They're one of the best.
They're one of the best. Speaking of Elf Creek, another thing that they had, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but I've been just dying to get my hands on a copy of Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz. And they only had 18 copies there, and we got one. Jeff basically was hassling the Elf Creek guys the whole time. It's like, are they here yet? Are they here yet? Are they here yet?
Yeah. Apologies
but
to Derek, and I'm failing to remember the other guy's name. I'm sorry for pestering you.
Worth it. This is not the deluxe version, which is fine because I believe you can buy the deluxe components separately if we feel that we need them.
We actually got to play this just before, for the first time, just before the con started. We played with Michelle and Billy.
Yep.
I loved it. This is the perfect game that ties in, I think, Jamie's love for theme and beautiful artwork and nice components. And I really like the mechanics of this game. I really like building out your little honeycomb.
I'm very excited to finally have this.
This was a Jamie buy. I'm just gonna do this.
All in, baby.
Final girl. This is the core box.
Core box.
Jamie got everything you can get for it.
Everything.
So, Dr. Fright, Poltergeist. I cannot pronounce that.
That's like,
Inkenyaba.
it's set in Africa. Inkenyamba.
Hans the Butcher. Geppetto the Puppet Master. And then it comes with Terror from Above expansion, miniatures, and
The playmat.
playmat.
So basically, I went up to the table and I just had like the core box and one of these in my hand. And then the guy was like, well, you know, you could get all of it for $160 American. And I said, okay, I believe you. So I got all of it and no regrets here. Because
this is a solo game, by the way, if you haven't heard of it.
This is a solo horror-themed game where it's kind of that movie trope where you are the final girl in the horror film who is escaping the murderer, the killer, all that good stuff. I've just heard really good things about it, and they did end up selling out of all of this at PAX, so I'm very happy that we got it. This is going to keep me busy and entertained all winter long, which in Canada is like 8 months. So problem solved.
Yep.
Anyways, that's Final Girl. Whoops. Next up, we got a gift from Max and Danielle from Table Knots, and they gave us Buried Treasure from Restoration Games. And this is an adorable little game where brought back from an old game, and I don't know what the theme used to be, but basically you have cards with pies on them, and it's like set collection, and then some of the cards have little raccoon hands on them, and for each raccoon hand you get to steal a card from somebody you're playing with. So it is a very mean take that game that I loved when I played it. It's just very, very cute, simple, sweet. Loved it.
All right, next up we have a promo pack
A baggie.
from Bezier Games. Silver cards.
Yeah, for the silver game.
You can use these with any silver game, and they just replace 3, 12, 5, and 0. I haven't really looked at these yet. We saw that they had them, and we were like, yeah, obviously.
We had to get them.
We will buy these.
Next up, before we get into our final couple of things, Danielle bought me some dice that have penguins inside of them. You can't see it, but they're there.
Oh, they're actually in.
They're in the dice. These dice are, it's like a set of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice, and there's little penguins.
It's a D&D set.
Yeah, it's a D&D set. Anyways, there's penguins inside the dice. So we got those too. We demoed a game with AEG, and that was Meeples and Monsters. And when we were sitting there, the AEG people came over and gave us this little lunch box full of some AEG swag. And in that came an AEG mug, some card sleeves, tarot-sized card sleeves, and a little mini expansion for Tiny Towns, which we do have and we love. It's Trees, Tiny Trees it's called. Bottle opener, an expansion for Cascadia, which we don't own yet, but we will obviously be buying that eventually. More card sleeves. I don't know if there's a specific game that this is for.
Well,
but
it'd just be for tarot-sized cards, so
yeah,
it'd be specific to certain types.
And then lastly, there are 2 little Smash Up. I don't know if these are expansions or what, but Smash Up Penguins and Smash Up Goblins. We don't own any of the Smash Up games.
We'll find someone that does and gift them.
Requires Smash Up core set to play. But that's what came in that little box. Very excited for the...
You're more excited just for the
tiny trees.
I love that you tried to put that all back in.
Yeah, it was not going to go back in.
Bother.
Last thing, and the most special thing. Not that the rest of the stuff's not special, but we got to, and we'll talk about this more in our wrap-up of the con video, but we got to demo a new game that's coming out in January from Plaid Hat Games called Familiar Tales, which is right here. And they weren't selling this, they didn't have copies, but we were selected from a list of content creators to receive this copy that they had on the floor. They only had 1 copy to give away, and they went through their list and they picked us, which was just like literally the best moment of my life, basically.
Humbling. Thank you to Jerry, the designer of
Yes.
the game, who is an incredible human.
Yes.
Very kind.
And Nikki as
and
well.
Nikki from
Plaid
Plaid
Hat.
Hat for
Picking us.
for
Because
liking what we do. And
literally I sat down at the table
Yeah.
and I looked at Jerry and I said, this is my new favorite game. And I love everything about it. So they probably gave it to the right people because I'm going to pump the heck out of this game. This is a campaign-based game that he described as, imagine it is a Disney princess story, but the main characters are the critters, and basically these 4 critters get this little baby who is the little princess, and they have to take care of her as she grows up. So the baby grows up as the game goes on, and they have to return her to the castle, to the throne, and all of this stuff. And it is an app-based game that tells a story, and the narration is amazing, and everything about it is amazing. I love it. It's so cute. I can't even tell, like, well, you can see. Look at it. It's amazing.
We will be doing some content.
We will 100% be doing content around this. This is being put to the top of the list.
It is.
Anyways, it was just a very, number one, before we even found out that we were getting this copy, if somebody asked what my favorite game of the con was, it was going to be this. And then now we have it. It does come out the end of January 2022, so it won't be long until you can get it yourself, but I'm just very, very excited.
Definitely by far the
definitely best, one of the highlights of the con,
the
for
best,
sure.
One of the best moments we've had since
we started doing this. It meant a heck of a lot to us.
Yeah.
That is everything that we got. Barely anything, really, if you ask me. Don't ask us how much we spent, because we'll never tell.
No, we will not.
We will not. Those are all of the games that we picked up at PAXU and during our time in Philadelphia. And we now need to buy new shelves. And that is okay, because we were going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Now we could just fill them quicker. Problem solved.
And funny, because then we came home to
more games.
More games, which aren't part of this video, but
we'll save that for another day. That is all that we have for you guys today. There will be more PAXU content coming on Saturday, hopefully, assuming that we are in tip-top shape, which we probably won't be, but we'll still do it. But that's all we have for you guys today. So if you're interested in buying games, like many of the ones that you've seen today, which are either not out yet or they're coming out eventually,
I was gonna say,
you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store, and for us here in Halifax, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Heck yeah, it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say
later days.
Goodbye. Hello, everyone. That's not really how we're starting. I'm just trying to get some pep in our step.
I don't know.
Good explanation, Jeff. You crushed it. Then we got. I'm dead. I have a headache. Yeah. Sometimes rubbing your face just feels good. What?
Chicken soup.
We don't have any.
I know. Ginger ale would be nice too.
Apple juice.